make someone love you. See how that goes. It's called the backwards law. The more you want something, the more it eludes you, like trying to float by swimming harder. You just sink faster. Watch this pattern everywhere. Desperate people repel opportunities. Needy people repel relationships. Stressed people repel peace. The funniest part? We know this. Every athlete knows you perform worse when you overthink. Every artist knows forcing creativity kills it. Yet what do? Try harder. So what works? Effort without attachment. Action without desperation. Do the thing, but don't death grip the outcome. Life rewards the relaxed, not the lazy, the relaxed.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. The shooter who murdered my sweet little Daniel brought a highly lethal weapon with him to my son's first grade classroom at San Diego Elementary. In approximately 4 minutes, he shot 154 bullets.
Big difference. Chapter 2, the control paradox. Life's biggest joke? The more you try to control everything, the less control you actually have. It's beautifully ironic. Think about it. You plan every minute of your day, organize every detail, try to predict every outcome. And then life laughs and throws you a curveball anyway. We're all control freaks in denial. Here's what's actually happening. Control is like holding water in your hands. Squeeze tighter, and it slips through your fingers faster. The ancient Stoics figured this out 2,000 years ago. You can only control two things, your actions and your reactions. Everything else, that's life's department. The breakthrough. Focus on your circle of influence. Ignore your circle of concern. Can you control traffic? No. Can you control when you leave? Yes. Can you control others' opinions? No. Can you control being someone worth respecting? Absolutely. Stop trying to be life's CEO. You're more like a surfer riding waves. Master the ride, not the ocean. Chapter 3. Your brain's secret night shift. Ready for something wild? While you sleep, your brain runs a full cleaning crew. Like janitors working the night shift. Scientists discovered your brain has its own waste removal system. During deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid washes through your brain tissue, clearing out toxins that build up during the day. It's like a dishwasher for your thoughts. This process is why you think clearer after a good night's sleep. But here's what neuroscientists found. Your brain physically shrinks during sleep to create more space for this cleaning process. The cells actually contract, opening up channels for the fluid to flow through. The science is wild. Your brain is 60% fat, weighs about 3 pounds, and burns 20% of your daily calories just thinking. We're basically walking supercomputers that need nightly maintenance. The research on this is mind-blowing. One night of poor sleep leaves metabolic waste in your brain. It's like trying to work in a cluttered office. Everything takes more effort. Scientists are still discovering how this nightly reset affects everything from memory to creativity. Your brain has a night shift crew you never knew about. Chapter 4, the happiness trap. Here's why you can't catch happiness. It's the only goal that runs away when you chase it. Happiness is like a cat. Ignore it and it jumps in your lap. We've all been there, chasing the perfect job, relationship, body, thinking, then I'll be happy. But neuroscience shows something fascinating. Your brain has a happiness set point. Win the lottery, you'll be back to baseline in 6 months. Terrible accident? Same baseline in 6 months. It's called the hedonic treadmill. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a byproduct. It comes from progress, not achievement. From connection, not possessions. From giving, not getting. We're looking for happiness in all the wrong places. The solution? Stop chasing happiness directly. Focus on meaning, growth, and contribution instead. Do things that matter, and happiness shows up uninvited like an unexpected gift. The biggest paradox of all? The less you need happiness, the more it appears. Chapter 5. Your biased brain. Your brain isn't a truth-seeking machine. It's a pattern matching machine with delusions of objectivity. Right now, your brain is running dozens of cognitive biases. Confirmation bias makes you cherry-pick evidence that supports your beliefs. The halo effect makes you think attractive people are smarter. Loss aversion makes you fear losing $100 more than you enjoy gaining $100. You're basically walking around with Instagram filters for reality. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You judge others by their actions, but yourself by your intentions. You remember your successes and forget your failures. You think you're above average in almost everything. It's called illusory superiority. And yes, you have it too. The worst part? You can't turn these biases off. They're hardwired survival mechanisms, but you can recognize them. Awareness is your superpower. Next time you're sure about something, pause. Which bias is talking? Your brain is constantly editing reality to match your beliefs. At least now you know the filter exists. Join our YouTube membership for exclusive perks like early access to scripts, input on future topics about productivity, and connect with a like-minded community that gets it. Click join below and let's build your easier, more intentional life together. Chapter 6, the 90-10 emotional rule. Brace yourself for this. 90% of your decisions are emotional, only 10% are logical. Your rational mind isn't driving. It's just narrating the trip. Think you chose your career logically? Nope. You felt drawn to it, then justified it with logic. That gut feeling about someone? That's your emotional brain processing millions of microsignals faster than consciousness. Your emotions are smarter than your thoughts. The science is fascinating. Your emotional brain processes information 500,000 times faster than your logical brain. By the time you think about something, your emotions have already decided. You're not making decisions. You're rationalizing what you've already felt. This isn't bad news. It's great news. Your emotions are data, not directives. That pause between feeling and action, that's where your actual power lives. Use it. Chapter 7, Memory. Your personal fiction writer. Your memories aren't recordings. They're more like Wikipedia pages that anyone can edit. And the main editor is you. Every time you remember something, you literally change it. The act of recall makes memories malleable. Your brain fills gaps with current knowledge, modifies details based on new experiences, and straight up invents things that feel real. You're not remembering the event. You're remembering the last time you remembered it. Scientists have proven this repeatedly. They can implant false memories so vivid that people swear they're real. Your confident courtroom testimony? Probably 40% fiction. That childhood trauma might be partially manufactured. Your brain is an unreliable narrator, pretending to be a documentary filmmaker. But here's the opportunity. If memories are malleable, you can rewrite your story. Not by lying, but by choosing which parts to emphasize. You're already editing your past. The lesson?
Why do we
Your
take out that
memories
low
are
though?
stories, not documentaries. Since you're already
What was
the
about
editor,
this low that
you
was
might
just
as well
so
edit
interesting?
consciously. Choose which parts of your story to emphasize. Chapter 8, the 80-20 life principle. Want to transform your life? Understand this. 20% of what you do creates 80% of your results. The rest is just expensive noise. Look at your life right now. 20% of your relationships bring 80% of your joy. 20% of your tasks produce 80% of your value. 20% of your habits create 80% of your problems. We're all majoring in minor things. The math is everywhere. In business, 20% of customers generate 80% of profits. In your closet, you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Life isn't fair. It's exponential. Identify your vital 20% and double down.
I would like
Which
to say.
activities move the needle? Which relationships energize you? Which habits actually matter? Stop optimizing the 80% that doesn't matter. The brutal truth? Most of what you do is waste. But that means you can cut 80% of your efforts and barely notice. Identify your vital 20%. Double down. Ignore everything else. Chapter 9. Habit loops, your autopilot system. You don't have bad habits. You have perfectly functioning loops with terrible rewards. Every habit follows the same pattern. Cue, routine, reward. CFO, cue, check social media, routine, get dopamine hit, reward. Feel stressed, cue, eat junk food, routine, temporary comfort, reward. Your brain doesn't care if habits help or hurt you. It just runs the program. Here's the kicker. You can't delete habits, only replace them. The neural pathways.
What is wrong with this
highways
thing?
in your brain.
Like,
But you
bro,
can change
can we
the
just go to the
routine
high?
While keeping the same cue.
Like, oh
Stressed,
my
do
gosh.
push-ups instead of eating. Same stress relief, better.
Have to admit, I don't want to
The
take
average
that at that
person
point.
runs 40% of their day on autopilot. But here's the power.
Look at the
Design
nonsense that
your
just
moves
happened.
consciously, and autopilot
Okay, I had
becomes your ally. Keep the cue, keep the reward, upgrade the routine. Simple. Chapter 10. The compound effect secret. Here's the math that flips your perspective. 1% daily improvement equals 3,778% yearly improvement. Tiny choices create massive destinies. Think that's insignificant? If you get 1% better daily, you're 37 times better in a year. 1% worse daily, you're down to 3% of where you started. Success isn't a sprint, it's compound interest for your life. The problem? We overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year.
Hi, we're Charity Water. If we lost you at Charity, we get it. Give us a moment to change your mind. At Charity Water, we're known for telling great stories, but we're big believers in numbers too. Like this one, 703 million. That's how many people worldwide currently live without access to clean, safe drinking water. As a result, 4,400 lives will be lost today, and again tomorrow, and the day after that. It's a big problem, massive, really, but we know we can solve it. To do that, we need to make every penny count, which means when you donate $1, exactly $1 goes to water projects where they're needed most. Not 83 cents on the dollar, not even 99 cents. The whole dollar. No fine print, no hidden fees. A group of private donors generously cover our
Read 10 pages daily? That's 12 books a year. Save $5 daily? That's $1,825 plus interest. Exercise 15 minutes daily? That's a transformed body. But here's what nobody tells you. The compound effect works in reverse too. Skip one workout? Nothing happens? Skip 100? The results speak loudly. Small choices seem meaningless until they suddenly aren't. The secret isn't motivation or willpower, it's math. Focus on systems, not goals. One healthy meal today, one page read, one push-up. The compound effect handles the rest. Here it is, the synthesis of everything. Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. You're not discovering some predetermined destiny. You're building it choice by choice, habit by habit, day by day. The paradoxes, they teach you balance. Your biased brain, it shows you humility. The compound effect, it gives you power. Every concept connects. The ultimate cheat code has 3 parts. First, accept what you can't control, almost everything. Second, master what you can control, your actions and reactions. Third, compound tiny improvements daily. That's it. Everything else is commentary. You now understand how your brain works, why happiness hides, how habits form, and where power lives. You know memory lies, emotions drive, and small actions compound into destiny. You have the manual. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the
You don't need more goals. You don't need another vision. You don't even need more motivation. What you need to do is kill the version of you that can't survive the success you say you want. Because if your identity doesn't match your ambition, your nervous system will sabotage everything you build, and it will call it just being tired, burned out, or not ready yet. See, your brain has one priority, which is consistency, and it would rather protect an old, outdated version of you than embrace a new one it doesn't recognize. So you start making progress, and right when the momentum picks up, you pull back. Not because you're scared of failure, but because success feels like a betrayal of who you've been. In this video, I'm going to show you the hidden identity trap that's quietly running your life. How to finally replace it with a system that lets the new you stick without burning out, without willpower, and without pretending. But before we even get into that, have you ever wondered why every breakthrough feels followed by a breakdown? Let's start there. Alright, hello and welcome to this training. As you can see from the title, what we're going to be covering today is you don't need more goals, you need a new identity. And as you can see from the overview, what we're going to be talking about more specifically is first the overview itself, the identity trap, the pattern that repeats itself, the brain that won't let you change, the system that makes you someone else, the environment that finishes the job, the review, and your action items for the day or the next few days. So with that being said, let's just get started with the
Yeah, we all know,
trap.
bro.
So the real reason most people never change has nothing to do with their goals. It's not about lack of time, knowledge, tactics, or motivation. It's because they're trying to
Man.
live a new life while dragging around the
I'm just
outdated
playing this thing. Hold on, I'm not locked in,
someone
bro.
who doesn't belong there. It's like trying to fly with bricks in your backpack. The moment things start working, some hidden part of you pulls the brakes. Not because you hate progress, but because it doesn't match who you still believe you are. The strongest psychological force in the human system isn't desire, it's consistency. You will subconsciously act, react, sabotage, delay, and distort anything that violates the image you've anchored as you. So even when you say you want success, if your internal model still sees you as the underdog, the struggler, the amateur, the fixer-upper, you'll create just enough chaos to keep that story intact. This is why new habits rarely stick, not because they're hard, but because they're incompatible with the current identity. You start waking up early to train, but you still see yourself as someone who hates mornings. So the habit feels foreign, it feels forced, it feels fake, and eventually your nervous system drags you back into alignment with your default
Interesting.
self-image. You launch something new, get early traction, and then stop showing up, not because you're afraid of failure, but because success would violate the role you've unconsciously committed to playing. That's identity resistance, and if you don't resolve it, you'll keep creating upper limits, false starts, and burnout cycles that feel like life, but are actually just identity maintenance mechanisms in disguise. Every time you try to change your output without upgrading your identity, you trigger internal conflict. Your actions pull one way, your self-concept pulls the other. That tension
Yeah,
creates
I would rather
friction.
take something
That
like
friction
this.
creates resistance, and that resistance is what you call inconsistency. You tell yourself you lack discipline, focus, or motivation, but really, your system is just trying to avoid the emotional whiplash of becoming someone your nervous system doesn't recognize yet. Your current identity has kept you alive, kept you accepted, kept you feeling safe. So anything that threatens it, even something better, is treated as risk. This isn't dysfunction, it's self-preservation, and until you address that, the system won't let go. Most people don't even know what identity they're operating from. It's not like your brain shouts, "I am unworthy," before you self-sabotage. It's subtler than that. It shows up in your posture, your tone of voice, the way you speak about money, the way you handle wins, the people you let in your life, the level of chaos you tolerate in your day. If you look at your routines, your bank balance, your relationships, your workspace, it's all an echo of the self-image you haven't yet updated. And the more you behave in alignment with that image, the more real it feels. So even if it's outdated, you reinforce it daily until it becomes so automatic you forget it was ever a choice. Identity gives you structure. That's why it's so hard to change. Even painful identities serve a function. Being the struggler gives you something to prove. Being the black sheep gives you a reason to stay disconnected. Being the burnout perfectionist gives you an excuse to avoid risk. The story becomes a drug, predictable, comfortable, familiar. You might hate it, but at least you know how to live inside it. So when the new path shows up, something that asks you to become bigger, bolder, more congruent, you hesitate, not because you doubt the path, but because you don't yet trust yourself to belong at that level. This is why goal setting is mostly garbage without identity work underneath. You set a goal to hit $10,000 in a month, but your internal model still sees you as the guy who makes just enough to survive. So every win feels temporary, every failure feels inevitable. You start creating from a place of pressure, not embodiment, from fear, not certainty. You grind to close the gap, but never stop to ask who is trying to cross it. And when the results don't come fast enough, or they come too fast, you crumble, not because of the outcome, but because of the internal contradiction it creates. The only way out is to build a new identity scaffold, one that can actually hold the level you're aiming for. That means replacing outdated goals, reframing old narratives, and shifting from reactive stories to intentional design. Identity has to be rebuilt like software, one update at a time, with clean signals, tight feedback, and constant recalibration. Because once the identity shifts, behavior becomes effortless. You stop trying and you just start being. You're not broken, you're just operating inside a self-model that
Oh my gosh. Alright, Alright. Like, why? That was the dumbest thing I've never seen in my entire life. High key, low key. What the frick is wrong with this thing? Yeah, basically.